Hey YouTube, it's Creepy Crawler 87. Hey, we're going to do another little subscriber update. We're doing a little bit of work on the wheel horse and a couple other things around here, so I'll show you what we're up to. Alright, here we have my old wheel horse. I put the, if you guys have a real sharp eye, you see in my other videos that I had to run the Honda, we'll start, off the original Honda motor that was on this, because the pull cord broke. Oh, hi puppy. Pull cord broke on the old, what the hell is this thing called? Wildfire. I don't really know. I got it from a yard sale for 50 bucks, so I was happy. But yeah, I had to run this, but I just thought this looked goofy on there. So I went down to the local store and got the pull start cord and fixed this one. Made it nice and long. And then this one actually broke on the last ride, and I'd been starting it with about a foot of cord, so I put all new cord on this, and now I can take it with me as a spare. Other stuff, the whole time I've had this, if you guys are real sharp on wheel horses, you'll notice wheel horses are not cut right here. I made these hinges. The problem was, I also added these braces in here. It goes down to a steel plate on the bottom. That way if I rolled it, hopefully it wouldn't smash it over one way or the other. But when I would ride it, the hood would wiggle back and forth so bad and go forward and backwards because this front part didn't have any support, and it would actually keep popping this out, and it actually chewed up the corners. So what I did was I put this rod in here. It actually made a nice place to mount my wire for my lights too. It's just welded in. See, this brace comes up here, comes clear across. It's actually just welded into there, came back to here, welded in, or actually made this bolt in so I can take it apart if I need to. I need to clean up the welds, they're kind of junky looking, but got that one there, and then I actually cut one over here. It's going to run up here and do the same thing, but I ran out of this rod. I was about a foot short. I thought I bought enough, but I didn't. So, in other news, I actually got a new key, got the electric start hooked up. I've never had that on this tractor, so that's really nice. I had to get a new solenoid, wired it all in, got my lights wired up, so I have headlights, taillights, and brake lights. That was actually for a failed attempt to get these things trail legal in Ohio. Made this battery clamp because my battery was just loose in here before. If you notice here, it goes around the edge, it goes into this piece of angle iron, has this rod, holds it down. I mean, it's rock solid because I made this just a hair short on purpose. That way when you tighten these bolts down, it clamps down on the battery a little bit. The other thing I'm trying to do is take some of the slack out of these hubs. And what I mean by that is, if you look, you can't really see it, but right in here, if you wiggle these back and forth, maybe, there you can see it. They wiggle back and forth because this is wallered out, for lack of a better term. The axle itself's worn out, not the spindle. So what I want to do, I already have these drilled and tapped on the top. Let's see if we can get in here good. What I'm going to do, and I've already done it on this one, added these washers so that when you tighten this down, there's still a tiny bit of up and down movement, but pretty much eliminates it and pushes up on these to kind of draw this back up straight. So I mean, it's just kind of a band-aid for the problem, but I'm not really ready to swap for an axle, and I don't have another one. I have a really good junkyard local by that I could get one from, but probably just want to see how this goes for now. Also, I got a bunch of these washers. I got them from Tractor Supply. They're like an 8-pack back by the pulleys. They're the machine washers, so they're 3/4 by like, I think, 1 inch or maybe 1 1/4 inch. I'm also going to put them on the wheels because my wheels have a lot of slop in them too. Try to get everything tightened up a little bit on the front end. And if you look over here, it's my K&N, or excuse me, how dare I call this thing K&N? This is a Uni. Best air filters made, in my opinion. Yes, this is off I think a 300X. I've been very bad about my preventative maintenance. This thing was horribly dirty, actually had chunks of mud on it. because I made this belt cover, but there's still some spray, as you can see, on top of the, I don't know why this isn't focusing. You can see on top of the gas tank, and this is even after being sprayed off, and down in there, it just slings mud everywhere. So, cleaning the air filter, and I'm adding an additional guard to the belt guard, which I'll show you here in a minute. Alright, next thing on the list, well, I really need to get another brake, not really shoe, not really sure what you'd call this, but basically the part of the brake that wears. Here's the material. It's good up there if you look down here where it actually hits. It needs replaced, but these are about 50 bucks from the Wheel Horse dealer, so I might try to see if I can't just get some brake material and reline that myself. But the other reason I got under here, I've been having a little bit of problem when I'm down in the mud. The belt wants to slip if it's completely wet and I'm in third gear high and the motor's just screaming. And it still goes, it doesn't completely stop, but it'll slip just a little bit. So the original thing I did is this is the factory spring. It hooks in right there, goes over to right here. To get a little more pressure on it, I welded, I lost all my light. I welded this part on here and then drill these holes up here so you'd have more leverage pulling back, which worked pretty good. But I got a stiffer spring from Tractor Supply. Yeah, I got this stiffer spring from Tractor Supply. I figured I'd give it a try. It might end up being too stiff, but you never know till you try it, and it needs a little bit more, so we'll give this a go. Throw it on. Also, I noticed when I was under here, if you look, oh, lost my light again. If you look back behind here, apparently at one point I just put a piece of wire or something in here and it's about to wear through, so I want to go and put an actual washer on the other side of it and fix that correctly too. Alright, so now you can actually see what I'm talking about. This washer wasn't in there before, and it had just a piece of old copper wire holding it in. So now it's got a nice grade 8 washer and a brand new cotter key. So that part's done. We'll throw the new spring on and see what we got. Alright, so the next thing is to get the spring on here. As you can see, it just won't quite fit, so we're going to take it, put it in the vise, trim a little bit of this off. It should fit on there just fine. Alright, we got the spring in here. Got it mostly trimmed off. I'm going to finish that up and we can throw it on. Here we got the new spring attached. It was quite a pain in the ass, but we got it on there. I had to trim a little bit off there, bend this one out just a little bit. You can see I used to have the old one in this hole, put the new one in that hole, just for that much, a little bit more tension. So this seems a lot better when you push in the clutch, but we'll find out when we actually get out on a trail ride. Next thing I'm going to do, I noticed this was wearing very thin. I probably would have used that hole over again, so I put it in the new hole. But I'm going to coat it with this stuff I found I really like. It's Ames-Oil Heavy Duty Metal Protector. It dries to something almost like wax. It's really, really good. You can spray it on anything that moves on your tractor. Not unlike grease, it doesn't attract dirt to it, but it gives it a little bit of lubrication. So I'm going to try that here. I use it all over the tractor and all kinds of other stuff, like I spray the crap out of these about every time I ride. Spray this down here. Any of the other little stuff that doesn't have a grease circle on it, I pretty much hit it with the Ames-Oil. Alright, so this is a bit of a fast forward. Took off the seat and fenders. Taking off the foot guard here. We got to pull these bolts out of the cover down here and right there. I'm going to pull this off. Alright, so we got the cover off. You can see how my belt system set up. Because I have the motor so far forward, it was always rubbing right here. Plus, I wanted to have a little bit of adjustability, so I made this idler pulley. You can loosen this bolt and swing this up and down. Changes your belt tension a little bit. As you can see, got a good bit of slop there. Got a whole bunch of slop there. using my rebuildable pulleys. I have a video on that if you want to check it out. But I'm going to go ahead and rebuild these, throw some new bearings in. So right here we have my my belt cover. Goes one right there. Notice I had this off. This is a factory belt stop on a wheel horse. And let's see if we can get a good view of it here. It's really worn down. I mean, right here, it's almost just paper thin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up and then put some weld on top of it and then grind the weld nice and smooth so it don't hammer build up. Alright, so I did a little upgrade to my belt guard here. When you get down in deep water and mud, it would, even my belt cover come over this way. There's a little gap, it would have been right there. I had a piece of silicone right there to try to stop it. So what I did is I got this piece of 1" by 1/8" strap, cut it, notched it out to go around there, and welded it on. But then since I had a little extra weight, this piece here is just made out of thin sheet metal. I have it bolted on down here and over here. So what I did is I just go ahead and welded this in. I'm going to drill through there and put a 1/4" bolt in. And then on this end, I made this little tab that goes over and bolts into the motor. So this thing is, I mean, once it gets bolted all the way on, it's going to be rock solid. That way it doesn't add any vibration to it. Also keeps the, if anything you have that vibrates or shakes, it's eventually going to crack around whatever the mounts are. So if you can keep it from vibrating and moving around, then it's just going to last longer and make it just that much better. Alright, what we got here, this is the factory wheel horse pulley. This is my new one. Had to machine some stuff down and make it the right depth, and it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt because I got to put the set screws on backwards. But big thing is, if you notice right there, from flat surface they're the same height up. Now this is a 6.5, and this is a 5.5. So should give me just a little bit more speed for cruising around in the big open areas. Alright, down here you can see what I did. I have no idea if it's going to work. I would guess it's probably not going to work, at least not for very long. But I was trying to do a different plan and it kind of messed up, so this is kind of my last minute backup to keep from just totally wasting the silicone. I was building a shifter boot out of an old shop rag, but it kind of fell apart when I was trying to put it on, and I was trying to silicone it in place, so I just added a little more extra silicone. I mean, right now it's holding up. There's a bunch of grease down along the bottom, so that's how it's not getting stuck in the bottom. Like I said, I don't really foresee this lasting too long, but it might last a little bit longer than, or keep a little more water out than nothing at all, like I've had for a couple years. So we'll do another update and I'll let you know how it's holding up. Well, there she is. Got the new pulley on, got the clutch adjusted, seems to be working awesome. A little bit more speed, nothing crazy, but I think it should help out a little bit. Alrighty guys, hope you liked it. Didn't really do a whole lot, fixed up a few things, worked in the garage some. I'm trying to think, oh yeah, we got that ride coming up. Get your guys' stuff done, come out and ride with us. Alright, once again, it's Creepy Crawler 87 signing out. Like, comment, and subscribe.